to all the dignitaries participants. My question is with representatives of ILO and UN. My question is that we have green card registration for migrant labor at the source of the migration, but it has no compulsion at the destination. हम लोग के पास जो migrant labor है, उनके लिए green card source point पर है, लेकिन उसका कोई compulsion destination पर नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से उसका ट्रैकिंग नहीं हो पाता है और वहाँ से ट्रैकिंग का कहीं न कहीं पर्सपेक्टिव शुरू है।
जो ग्रीन कार्ड और रेड कार्ड स्कीम है झारखंड गवर्नमेंट की, वो एक वॉलेंट्री स्कीम है और उसमें ये है कि अगर आप बाहर जा रहे हैं काम करने के लिए तो अच्छा है कि आप रजिस्टर करके जाएं। अगर आप रजिस्टर करके जाते हैं और कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, सुबह मॉर्निंग में बात हो रही थी कि कोई इंश्योरेंस नहीं होता है, so it carries that insurance amount, it carries the disability benefit. Now this debate about how much we should regulate migration, because there's a very thin line between migration और trafficking. हर जने को अधिकार है माइग्रेट करने का। जब हम कानून बनाते हैं तो हमको इन कानूनों का ध्यान रखना है कि वो हमारा जो फंडामेंटल राइट है टू माइग्रेट एंड बी अ रेजिडेंट ऑफ एनी स्टेट इन इंडिया, उसको नहीं हैम्पर करना चाहिए, उसको उसके अगेंस्ट नहीं जाना चाहिए। तो कभी भी रजिस्ट्रेशन अगर कंपल्सरी होती है तो कहीं ना कहीं हम एक दबाव और प्रेशर डाल रहे हैं माइग्रेंट्स के ऊपर ज़बरदस्ती रजिस्टर करने के लिए। जैसे डोमेस्टिक वर्कर्स को बोला जाता है दिल्ली में आप पुलिस के साथ रजिस्टर करिए। मेरा सवाल ये है कि लेबर के साथ क्यों नहीं? क्या वो क्रिमिनल्स हैं? जब कोई क्रिमिनल जो होता है वो पुलिस के साथ रजिस्टर होता है, एक वर्कर लेबर डिपार्टमेंट के साथ रजिस्टर होना चाहिए। कहीं ना कहीं डेस्टिनेशन स्टेट में भी ये वॉलेंटरी स्कीम होनी चाहिए जहाँ पे वर्कर्स आके अपने आप को रजिस्टर कर सके। माइग्रेंट रिसोर्स सेंटर की बात हमारी झारखंड सरकार के साथ चल रही है और डिस्कशंस आगे बढ़ रहे हैं उसके ऊपर। तो ये माइग्रेंट रिसोर्स सेंटर्स हर स्टेट में होने चाहिए जहाँ पे वर्कर्स अपने आप को आके रजिस्टर करें और जो डेस्टिनेशन स्टेट के जो फायदे उनको मिल सकते हैं, चाहे वो राशन कार्ड हो या एजुकेशन हो या जितने भी स्कीम्स हो, बिल्डिंग एंड अदर कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर्स की स्कीम, जैसे एक MOU हुआ था आंध्र प्रदेश और उड़ीसा के बीच में माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स के लिए, तो ILO ने फैसिलिटेट कराया था लेबर डिपार्टमेंट्स के बीच में, और एक दूसरा MOU हुआ है झारखंड, बिहार, छत्तीसगढ़ और यूपी के बीच में, जिसमें ये तय किया गया कि जो माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स एक राज्य से दूसरे राज्य में जाते हैं उनको स्कीम्स की पोर्टेबिलिटी मिलेगी और बिल्डिंग एंड अदर कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर्स में स्टार्ट हो गया है। तो इसी तरह की हमको पॉजिटिव स्टेप्स, राइट वे स्टेप्स लेने पड़ेंगे इंस्टेड ऑफ मेकिंग इट कंपल्सरी। इट हैज टू बी वॉलेंटरी। वर्कर खुद आके अपने आप को रजिस्टर करें और बेनिफिट्स ले सोर्स स्टेट के लिए और डेस्टिनेशन स्टेट में।
थैंक यू भारती।
Hi, I'm Priyanka from Sanla, and my question is, I don't know, to all the panelists maybe, I was just wondering that, what do you think that we can do together to kind of motivate the judiciary to take a more proactive role? Because if the judiciary is not proactive, then the rights of the victims and all the hard work done by every other stakeholder is kind of denied. So I was wondering, because whenever we do, like capacity buildings, it's always for the law enforcement agencies, but the judiciary somehow are not able to participate or don't turn up. So how do you think you can address that?
I would like to comment on your, answer your question if I may. I completely agree with you. I think it has been in Chhattisgarh also extremely difficult to motivate or even reach out to the judiciary or take them into confidence. But I think it's not impossible. We have done that, and the great thing is that everything just fell in place, I think, because after the Supreme Court, issued that order and all that, judiciary called for a meeting, and we were anyway in dialogue with the SLSA. I think that's a very important body, State Legal Services Authority, और आप लोगों को यहाँ पे भी District Legal Services Authority होते हैं, but कई बार हम लोगों को लगता है वो defunct body है ये वो, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगता है अपने एक्सपीरियंस से कि we must reach out to such bodies. We should not wait for others to come to us. We can also reach out to them, and then through SLSA we reach to the High Court, and now High Court has become so proactive that they have announced in a stakeholders meeting that we are going to take human trafficking as our priority issue, and they are going to partner with UNICEF for an interstate consultation which we are planning in a month or two, which we will include Jharkhand, Bihar, and we plan to do that. So I also think apart from this strengthening your capacity building, generally we leave out judiciary thinking that judges, they know all. But that should not be done. In any way possible, one should try and educate judiciary also. For example, the JJD board magistrates, similar judges who are in the sessions court dealing with trafficking cases on acts like POCSO, on acts like whether it is certain sections like 370 in IPC which has been introduced now. So, ये बहुत important चीज़ है and I really think that should be a convergent platform. Thank you.
Swasti.
I think another positive step in this direction would be fast-track courts on trafficking. Maharashtra has a dedicated court where the judges are, accordingly sensitized to train. I think if that model could be picked up in all the states, I think it is being, the process is starting. That could again be a very good step in that direction.
And in fact, UNODC has been doing some great job engaging judiciary through this judicial colloquium. One last question. Yes.
Hello. Myself Sudeep from New Light, Kolkata. And my question is, we are talking about the networking with the NGOs and the partners, but after this conclave also, can we have any link or any website where from we can download the presentation and the information about all the partner agencies?
Thank you very much for that question. Yes, we will have a website. We are collecting notes from all the panels in terms of what was learned, etc. So you can access it. Because what we want to do is in terms of sustainability is like after the conclave, how do we continue networking? How do we continue the conversation between each other regarding this the issues that we spoke about today? So yes, we will. Please do look for Mr. Ravi Khan. We will get that information to you as soon as we have it. Thank you for that question. I think you really hit it. Wow. Before closing, I just want to thank all of you. I know I'm coming off the script, but it's very difficult for me to be strict because all of you have so much information and knowledge to share. And I wish we could have an hour for each of you because I know both of you have not just talk for the sake of talking, but because the advice that you have to offer based on the work you've done. So thank you very much for everything you've done, what you do every day, and for coming here this morning. Now I'm going to wrap it up on this one. We're complete with this session. If you have any other questions, do feel free to come up to some of our panelists here during the session. Right now we're breaking off for tea, but before you leave, you need to be back here by 11:55. The reason why, एक minute, Gaurav, एक minute, ठीक है, चीज़ मत कीजिए. 11:55 because we need to start at 12 because we are expecting the Chief Minister later on. And so we need to be very brief. Speakers from the next session, I'm going to ask for your remarks to be brief. So I need you to be brief out of respect for the other speakers, but also because the next session is going to be very important. That is reporting from the parallel session. Somebody yesterday came up to me last night and said, I couldn't go to all the other parallel sessions. Well, there's going to be some reporting now from those parallel sessions. We're also going to have notes there. So please be back here, grab your tea, be back here by 11:55. आप लोग आपकी चाय ले लीजिए जल्दी और 11:55 तक यहाँ बैठिए. धन्यवाद.